So, question. How many times have you swore that you would never put up with any more of your family drama, ignorance, pain, and dysfunction? Right? Welcome to another episode of Functional Family Fridays. I'm Reiki Rita Roberts, and our topic today, if you haven't figured it out yet, is having a sense of family obligation. We all know that. We all, swear that we're gonna cut them off, not put up with any more pain and dysfunction, but yet here we are finding ourselves going back over and over again. So in today's episode, I'm going to explain why you do that and why that happens. Okay? Now this was taken out of my book, Parents with Price Tags. There's an unspoken rule that is subconsciously passed down from generation to generation that dictates that we are to remain proud, loyal, discreet, and forever dedicated to our biological families, no matter what the price. So here's a point. Our loyalty runs very deep when it comes to our family. Those roots are very embedded because, why is that? Because our very first experience of what we believe to be unconditional love begins with our parents and our families. So just think about it. You're a child, you're naive, you have no life experience. So your parents, our parents, teach us everything about the world, including what love is, right? So if you have a parent who doesn't know what love is or doesn't love themselves, well then their version of love will be conditional, okay? And you're not gonna question that because we don't question anything our parents teach us because we have no reason to question it, okay? It's not till we start to get older, start to see the world outside our families, and start to see what other people are doing, then we start to question it. I know that was true for me, right? So as a child, we're very naive and we're very dependent upon our parents and what they teach us. So what if you have a parent who doesn't know how to love themselves? Chances are they don't know, they won't be able to teach you what love is either. So we're gonna have sort of a jaded or misinformed version of what love is. And we continue to do that throughout our lives till we get the emotional healing that we need, okay? So again, we're naive as children. We have no life experience as to what a real, healthy, unconditional love is. Again, we have no reason not to believe that what we're receiving from our parents is real, healthy love, because we don't know better, okay? So, however, our questions, again, if they don't love themselves, how could they possibly teach you what love is, okay? That's no different than a parent trying to teach your child to cook when they don't know the first thing about cooking themselves. Can't do it, okay? So therefore, many of us learn as children from our parents conditional love. This is not authentic, and this is not unconditional in nature. That's why many of us don't feel loved by our parents, and where the family problems and power struggles begin. Because something doesn't add up. What we're feeling from our, deep inside doesn't match what our parents are telling us. So that's where the conflict starts to happen, right? And because we feel obligated to stick with our families, then that's where we get inner conflict, As soon as you start to say, I have to, I must, I got to, they expect me, then you're out of your element. You're not honoring your true self, okay? You should want to go, versus have to go, okay? So keep that in mind. So there's 4, there might be more, but I came up with 4 common ways people like yourself tend to deal with toxic family members. When I ask my clients why they tolerate disrespect and emotional neglect and even abuse from their parents, many of them would often say, because that's my mother, that's my father, that's my sister or brother. It's like they're just expected to take that abuse because they're family members. It's so ingrained in our heads that this is okay to treat us that way because they're family. That's not right, nor is it true, okay? Families need to own up. Family members need to own up to their part of the relationship. We don't just inherit respect from family members, we have to earn it, okay? So most people don't even know why they allow their families to treat them badly, aside from the fact that they believe one of 4 of these reasons. Number 1, no matter how negative, how hurtful a family member treats you, you're supposed to remain loyal and connected to them regardless of the circumstances, because society expects that of you. I mean, it won't be the first time we've heard of people being abused, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, by their family, and they still keep coming back. So dangerous, so harmful, okay? Second reason, we accept that we're allowed to complain, argue, or even disagree with family members and put up with dysfunction. So we'll allow ourselves to do that much, disagree, but not disassociate, okay? Number 3, or we go into denial, okay? I often say denial's a happy place for many people who don't want to deal with the truth or the pain. So they stand to victimhood. I'm a victim of my family. Oh, well, what can I do? My mother's like this, my father's like this. If you're a grown-ass adult, you could do something, okay? It's different when you're a child and you're dependent on your parents, but when you're an adult in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, guess what? You got to take ownership of your life, your emotions, and your happiness. You can no longer keep blaming your parents because now you're an adult. If you keep going back and putting up with the abuse, that's your choice. It really is your choice, okay? So I know it sounds weird, and I know you're gonna get upset with me pointing this out to you, but you either are addicted to the drama or you don't feel worthy that you deserve to be treated better. And then that deep down rooted loyalty kicks in and you become a victim to abusive family relationships, okay? So denial, you'll go into denial, sweep the problems under the family rug, right? And pretend that nothing ever happened. So the family rug must be pretty thick by now, okay? I remember every time I'd approach my parents with the way I felt and my issues, they would sweep it under the rug. And it could be a real big problem, a real big blowout. But then the next time you spoke to them, it was as if nothing ever happened. That was even more hurtful than dealing with it, okay? Because it was dismissive. It's dismissive behavior. It's saying that whatever you're bringing up isn't important enough. They're devaluing you, okay? And it probably is because of their own fear of addressing it, absolutely. However, you should never stand for that, because once you disrespect yourself, then it's game over. Okay? It's different when one thing, when other people disrespect you, but to allow disrespect to yourself, then that sometimes is hard to recover from. Okay? Because you remember, you can walk away from people, somehow detach, or what seems to be trending in the 21st century is ghosting people, which personally I find a hugely immature and cowardly way of doing things. If you no longer want to stay connected to someone, say that in a mature, loving, respectful way, and then move on. But this seems to be the trend, right? So I'm getting a little off topic here, but say what you need to say. But dismissive behavior is extremely hurtful, and it's not giving you a chance to express yourself, to say and communicate your feelings. So it makes you feel devalued and unimportant to that person, okay? And then the other thing is, like I started off the video with, is you believe time and time again that this time they're going to change, okay? I remember saying that over and over. It was my own fear of knowing I had to do something and accepting the fact that they weren't going to change, okay? So I keep going back, putting up with it, thinking this time mom's going to be nicer to me. She's not going to ignore me, right? Or this time dad's not going to drink so much, right? Whatever the topic is or the problem is, we keep on hoping, because as a child, as your parent's child, we want so badly for our parents, the ones who bore us, who raised us, who having good intentions for us, to be the ones to love us authentically for who we are. And we want it so badly to be our biological families, our parents, our sisters, our siblings. But the truth of the matter is, that's not always the case with a lot of families. Remember, just because you're in a family, everyone's got different personalities. It's not always possible for people within the family to love us the way we need to be loved. So you need to respect yourself, okay? So I'm going to talk about what could happen to you if you keep on staying connected and going back, okay? It's going to lower your self-esteem and your self-worth, okay? It's going to cause you more stress, okay? Stress will eventually lower your immune system, and you're going to become susceptible to sickness and disease, okay? It's going to make you feel unimportant, or that your needs don't matter, that you're going to feel like you don't belong in your family, okay? You'll feel unloved, uncherished, unlovable. You're going to think that no one will ever love you, okay? This can cause sadness, depression, sometimes suicidal thoughts. Sometimes people attempt suicide or self-sabotage themselves. I've had numerous clients hurt themselves, turn it inwards, and blame themselves for not being lovable. So hurtful, so sad. And you may develop self-hatred, and again, self-sabotage. You might call yourself names and have a problem with your body image, okay? You may develop the victim mentality. Oh, look what happened to me, and look at my family, and it may cause you to become negative and pessimistic, an attitude of negativity. It may cause you to develop an ego or become selfish, okay? Where everything needs to focus on you because you feel deprived from love from your parents, okay? And unfortunately, the other thing that could happen is over time, due to the negative influence, you end up becoming the same as what you despise, your family, the family members that hurt you. because their energy will eventually influence you and break you down. And we don't want that to happen. You may lose good friends and other family relationships. It may affect your marriage and other friendships, okay, or your work environment. You may become unhappy, resentful, jealous of other people who seem to have a wonderful family and feel loved. This can often make you become bitter and revengeful, okay? It may make you become a drama junkie as a way of getting energy, you know? You're not getting love and energy from your family, so you're going to create drama to get it some other way, okay? Or, God forbid, you may develop an addiction that you feel is going to numb you or help you cope with your pain and the denial that you're going through. So we don't want that to happen, please, okay? So how do you know then? Rita, how do I know when it's time to move on from toxic family members? It's usually a good sign to move on from when your family environment continues to operate under emotional damaging, energy draining conditions, and you're no longer comfortable with this pain. You have to get to the point where you say, enough, I'm done, and I mean it. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to heal myself and get away from these people. I've heard several people say that, but very often do they follow through with the work that has to be done. You got to remember, this isn't no quick fix. It took that many years to fall victim and be negative or hurt or have wounds and pain. You can't expect it to fix after one session or, with your psychologist or coaching with me. I'm going to be straight up with you. You have to be patient with the healing process. You have to be willing to heal all the layers of pain that you're dealing with, okay? But I can guarantee that if you stick with it, it's going to pay off, okay? So when family or any negative relationship begins to negatively affect your health, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, and you've done all you can do to clearly communicate to your family members that's hurting you, that you no longer want to tolerate this or put up with this, okay? And nothing ever changes, then it's time to push the reset button on your personal boundaries and or move on from the relationship altogether, okay? So I recommend that you try to salvage whatever's left of your wounded spirit and find the courage to remove yourself from this harmful environment immediately, okay? Get yourself, because you might say, well, I'm not working right now, my parents are supporting me, or I live with my parents, then limit the amount of time that you're around them, okay? So go to a friend's house that is loving and supportive, perhaps another family member, another distant relative, or if you have to, get into a shelter. Whatever you need to do to stop wounding yourself, mortally wounding yourself, okay? So what I want to tell you then, if this is you and you're ready, then you also need to be aware of a couple of things, okay? When you decide to let go of toxic family members and move on, once you've made that decision to distance yourself or cut ties completely, okay, from negative family members, don't expect that your decision to do that is going to be supported, okay? Because everyone in the family is going to have an opinion about you. I know that when I decided that I could no longer tolerate nor was I going to be healthy staying in my family, that I stepped away from 2 parents, 4 siblings, okay, including a twin sister. Was it easy? Hell no. Was it the best thing I ever did? Hell yes. But even though my problem wasn't with some of my sisters, they too will have a decision and take a stand. And you have to respect that. You have to respect that just because you're changing and wanting to evolve emotionally doesn't mean they're ready to take that. They may totally agree with you. They may feel the same way, but they don't have the courage that you do to take the steps to heal. So what they might do is turn around and disconnect from you as well, okay? So expect that could happen, all right? Because so many people still believe that it's taboo to disassociate from family, no matter the way they treat you, okay? So you can expect that you'll be shamed, judged by others, even people that don't know you. Oh, read it. You're not talking to your parents. Oh, the shame of it. And you know what? It could really sting until you build your self-esteem up again and know that you did the right thing that was healthy for you. Okay? Don't put too much energy into what total strangers think. They don't know you. They don't know your story. Okay? So stay away from these people. Get the support that you need. Otherwise, what could happen, you will slip back into fear and you'll wind up staying, not going. And you'll wind up wounded and not healing, okay? If that happens to you, again, you're gonna lose more self-esteem. It's gonna lower even more. And you're gonna lose whatever self-respect you have left. Because, you know, I know of people who have challenged their parents, brought that forward, found the courage, but then as soon as it got tough to deal with the resistance, they shrunk back into fearful them, and they became that subservient person again, tolerating the pain. And you gotta realize that it's only going to continue to hurt you. Don't expect your family members to change. You're the one changing. So push through with that, okay? So finally you need to create a new belief for yourself, okay? This is what will give you permission to finally let go, move on, and begin the emotional healing process. Create a new belief that I believe that I deserve to be happy, I believe I'm lovable, and I believe that I deserve love. Change that belief, repeat it, say that mantra every single day, okay? So I hope you found today's functional family video helpful. You understand why you feel obligated to keep going back, putting up with hurtful family members, okay? Thank you for tuning in. So from my gift to you, as you know, I work on helping to heal emotions, particularly parents. So I'm going to invite you to check in on your emotions now to see where they're at. So download the free emotional checklist that I've attached a link to, and it only takes a couple minutes to do, but this will give you a good idea as to where your emotions are at and the next steps on what to do to fix them, okay? Because you're gonna need some help there. So the trick is, not a trick, the fact of the matter is, in order to heal and get happy, you have to become more emotionally evolved than these people that are hurting you. Because that's the only way you're gonna get to a place of forgiveness, real legitimate forgiveness. Not just saying, oh yeah, I forgive them. No, meaning you're not reactive anymore. Anything they say or do doesn't make you lose energy. That takes a lot of work, And I could say that I'm finally there with my family and a lot of people that challenge me, okay? So that's the way life is. You're never going to be free of toxic people. So it's very important that you learn how to cope, manage the stress of being around negative people. They're in the workplace, the family, you could be married to it, your children, who knows, okay? So you really need to learn that skill. Good thing is that I'm here to help you. So download the free emotional checklist. Let's get started. If you are not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. It's just a click of a button and you'll get all the free downloads, okay? I also have a free Facebook group called Stressful Family Relationships. Please click on and join, all right? Because I want to get you to your happy place. I could help you do that. Follow me on Instagram under Reiki Rita Roberts. So from my heart to yours, stay hopeful, don't give up on yourself, and I will see you next week on another episode of Functional Family Fridays. God bless and stay in the light.